because this is a double portrait, we're going to use a little bit of a cheat. We're going to use carbon paper. Now it's dull and gray on one side and super black on the other side. Can you see that? All right. First we're going to do is we're going to prepare our area. Of course, the first thing we're going to do is write our, let it get away from me, our name, our class, and the period or hour that you were there. So your name, your class, and your hour, just so you don't lose your art. Then we're going to actually tape the paper and the carbon paper down. Make sure that the gray side is facing you and the black side is facing the table. Then, because your photo is going to be smaller than your project paper, tape down your photo and tape it down really well onto that carbon paper, because you do not want that shifting away from your carbon paper. Because you are going to be flipping it and checking it to make sure that it, is doing what you want to do and you haven't missed any features. Because what we're going to be doing is tracing, and this carbon paper will leave a perfect trace. We're going to use a colored pencil so that you can tell where you've traced, and you're going to just start tracing the face. Trace the contour lines of the face. Trace the just basic features, and those tracing those features will really individualize and show a line drawing that we can then color in later. Now, when it comes to the eyes, it's very, very important to just trace where the eyelid and the eyeball meet. Those are the lines you trace when it comes to the eyes, where the eyelid and the eyeball meet. Then if you're going to do the nose, just do one side of the nose, because that's going to show a highlight. For the lips, do the inside of the lip, the outside of the lip. Do not do teeth. I'm just going to leave the teeth blank white. Okay, if you try to draw teeth, it will look creepy and weird. So just leave those if there are teeth showing. Otherwise, draw the top and bottom of the lips and the inside of the lips. Then just draw around the body. And as you can see, that's really starting to come together. So just continuing to draw wherever I can see a line, wherever I can find that line in that photograph. Now we're going to be adding symbols of, each person's personality and their relationship to each other in the background. But this picture actually already has a symbol, right? Just by him holding a book and them wearing backpacks, we can tell that they're students. Their height difference tells us that they're an age difference, tells us that they're brothers, both headed to the first day or both headed to school. This is probably a first day of school picture. All right, and then just do the exact same thing on the other person. So now I'm going to do the little brother. Again, just finding that outline, finding those lines around the face, finding those details. You do the outside of the eyebrow, because we will be coloring those in later. And again, only drawing where the eyelid and the eyeball meet. And then, of course, the iris of the eye. That's the colored part of the eye. Doing the top and bottom of the lip. And, check your work as you go. So check to make sure. If you think you're done, flip it. See, I didn't have a whole eye there. So I thought I was done. I flipped it over and saw that I was missing an eye and, a few other features. So don't be too afraid to flip and make sure that it looks right. Your brain will be able to tell if it doesn't look right. All right, so I just got done with this one and it looks great. It looks fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some bad examples, some mistakes that people make and how that's a mistake when they draw it. So I'm just going to use the same piece of paper over this. First thing that they do is when they draw the eyes, they draw the entire eye socket, just a circle around, like they're not even paying attention. And then they draw in every single line that they can possibly find, including every eyelid instead of just around the eyeballs. And then, of course, the eyes there. Okay, so this is what that looks like. So you can see that's starting to look terrible. And I'll just go ahead and go around the face here so you can get a better idea. Most people don't have too much trouble drawing around the face, but sometimes what they'll do is they'll just draw the outside of the mouth and not the inside. And then that's what that looks like. Another thing that they'll do is they'll see little teeth in there, and so they want to draw the little teeth because the smile's a little bit open rather than just drawing the top and bottom line. And then when they draw all the teeth, that's what that looks like. So yeah. And then they're like, oh, that looks terrible. And this is where people will get it really messed up. This is why I have you use a colored pencil instead of a regular pencil, because people want to erase because they made a mistake. But when you erase, you're still rubbing under that. You're still rubbing that carbon paper. So that's what that looks like. And then the last mistake that people make is that they draw the entire nose all the way up from the eyebrow, all the way down and around and all the way back up. And that's a mistake too. So that's why you really want to follow the rules that I said of, just drawing those right where the eyelid meets the eyeball and the iris. Don't draw in the teeth, and just follow the contours of the face. Otherwise, you end up like this instead of like this.